Hello and welcome to this video looking at the marking of question 2 on paper 2. Now we thought it would be helpful for you to understand how the questions are marked, so you've got a clear understanding of the sort of things that you need to be focusing on in your writing so that you can hit all the right points. Now we do say that make sure you've watched the other video before you watch this, because a lot of things will not be covered in this video. We're just going to talk about how the question is marked. Okay, so if you want more information, go to the other videos where we explore how to answer the question and what to do. Now this is the mark scheme. Now it's not the full mark scheme, and I'm going to take you up and we're going to work up from the bottom and work our way up to the top. So what you notice at level 1, for 1 or 2 marks, what you've simply got to do is you've got to kind of make some basic simple points. And so what students often do is they tend to just copy bits out of the text. And so if you write nothing, then you'll get 0 for this question. But if you attempt to answer the question, then you'll get at least a mark. And depending on how detailed your response is, then depends on whether you get 1 or 2 marks. So simply at this one, at level 1, for 1 or 2 marks, you're just going to say, well, one shows it that it's this and the other does this. So really, really simple response. And so you're not really getting to the inference stage. To get 3 or 4 marks, so close to half marks, is that you have to show some interpretation from one or both of the texts. Now the key thing is you can see that it says from one or both texts. So you've really got a limit here, because you can't go above this if you only mention one inference from one text. So that's the limiting factors. You've got to make sure that you make an inference. So when we say inference, that's something that's reading between the lines and isn't obvious. If you copy out obvious things from the text, then that's paraphrasing, and that's level 1. If you are saying something like, this suggests to me, or this hints at, it's what's within the text that's not obvious. And so that's what starts getting you 3 or 4 marks. And when you look at the bullet points, the key thing that the examiner's looking for is usually in this order. So we're looking to see, have you made an inference? Then we look at, have you made references? And the statement bit is really at the bottom of the 3 things. So really, you've got to have made one inference really to get to a level 2. If you're explaining more than one inference, then you've got a chance of getting 4 and above marks. So that's really, really important. And you can see that actually you've got to use quotes as well. And so using appropriate references. So that gives you an idea at the bottom end of the mark scheme itself. Now, if we have a look then, so the big thing here for the next level up, to get 5 or 6 marks, is you've got to have a clear inference. So really, to get that clear inference, you're kind of saying it's this because of this. And it's that development, that explanation that gets you to this level here. Okay, so we can infer this because of this, and it's that reasoning, and that's what gets you that level 3 here. Okay, so again, clear references, so you're linking to direct points in the text, and you've understood a clear difference. And you can see the key word is clear. All right, have you got it? Have you understood what's going on? And is it detailed and developed? So you've got to really use words like because, so, and as. This suggests that the child is young because of this, and because of that, and because of this also. All right, so it's that reasoning that really gets you to the level 3 thing here, 5 and 6 marks. So the level 4 then, so what is it? Now on paper 2, you're only looking for a few students that will be getting these 7 and 8s. So you've really, really got to do something that stands out from all the rest. And so there aren't that many students that get the 7 or 8 marks. But what you're looking to do is you're looking And the key word is perceptive. And that word perceptive basically means that really what you're doing is you found something quite original or quite unique, or it shows that actually you've really understood the text. And so you're looking for a subtle inference. You're not looking for the most obvious thing. And really, level 3 here, there tend to be students that find the most obvious things in there, and they'll go and they'll give a reason. Here, it's kind of looking at something quite subtle that really you've got to spend quite a lot of time thinking about it, or a good level of understanding of the text. And really, this is where making sure you understand the text is key. The other thing you've got to make sure is judicious references. Now, judicious means, you're using lots of little references from the text. So a quote here and a quote there that helps to explain and prove a point. And you might make a perceptive difference. And you can see that even though the question is looking at making a summary of both texts, you can see that still the main thing here is it's your inference. If you make that reading between the line inference, that's what makes you get the marks, okay? So the difference is it's not a key thing as much as the other. Now, what you can do, and certainly as a marker, what you do is you can actually, your perceptive difference could be an inference. And so that links in there straight away. All right, so you might make a really perceptive inference that's about both the texts, and that gets you straight up there straight away. So you can see really how does it work. So you start at the bottom level where you copy bits out, then you start level 2, which is you're making an inference, so you might say this suggests. Then level 3 is where you explain the inference, so it suggests this because of this. And then level 4 is a really subtle inference that shows that you really understand the text. So, to kind of summarize, key points. The key thing you've got to remember is this is about inference. So this is reading between the lines, and vocabulary is key there because you can describe what's going on in the text through the words that you use. And really, looking at your vocabulary is important when explaining an idea. And the developed inferences. So you say, it suggests this because of this. Rationalize an inference. That's what we're talking about. Say, why does it suggest this? Because of this, or so this, or as. And another thing you can do is talk about the consequence of this inference. What could it actually mean later on in this piece of writing that we've got here? Explanation of the point is what moves you up the mark scheme. The more detailed, the more evidence you can support to your idea, the higher your mark will be. Ensure that you make an inference from both texts. You will be penalized if you only make an inference for one text. So you've got to make sure that text A and text B, you make an inference. And easy way to do the inference is this suggests, or this implies, this hints. So you're looking for something that's under the surface. Use quotations from both texts. Look for subtle or less obvious points when looking to get the perceptive mark. And don't say what is obvious. Okay, that limits you, and that is paraphrasing. All right, so look under the surface. What's really going on in the text? Now, check out other videos. There will be more marking videos. And obviously, this is just to give you an idea of what the examiner is looking for to help you understand how to get better in English. Thank you.